Hello, hello. I am a bit late because I'm trying to look silly, but not too silly, by putting all my whips on me. I am Zanete from Zanete Knits, and this is my weekly update on what's been happening here. Hello everybody, thank you for joining, and I hope you find it amusing. So here is the Song of the Moon sweater, and since last week I've completed the color work on the body and also added a sleeve, and that's the progress. But then I ran into some problems, which is why I haven't completed the second sleeve and why I haven't completed the body. I, in all my wisdom, have managed to underestimate how much main color I would need for this design in the original view of it, where all the ribbing is nice and matches the neckline. So I'm trying to figure out a way of how to incorporate other colors, of which I have lots of. And I'm a very practical person, and I know that a lot of other knitters will be in the same situation. They'll have a lot of contrast color left since I've just used it here and a little bit here. So it would be a shame to, I mean, you can make many other things, but I love this color and I think it deserves a more prominent spot in the sweater. So I'm now figuring out a way of getting that into the ribbing. I have tried to, well, this looks really weird because underneath I have a knitwear piece that is a trumpet sleeve, so it's all mushed up here. In all honesty, when there's nothing underneath, it looks great. So what I've done is I've added a bit of color work with the red, I think the colorway is called hibiscus, and then now I'm doing twisted corrugated ribbing for the cuff, for half of it, and then the other half will be in this grapefruit orange color. Fingers crossed that looks how I imagine, and I think it'll look great. So that's my savior. So if that looks good, I will repeat that on the second sleeve and on the hem as well. And then comes the question of the neckband. So I have received two types of feedback on it so far. One is either people really love it and they say out loud, or people don't really love it, they say nothing, or they tell me privately that it doesn't look right. So I am sort of torn between the two worlds myself. I'm not sure that I'm quite on board with it yet, and I am planning to make a more symmetrical, still with decreases, but a little bit more symmetrical, so it's not so odd looking. Yeah, so I can't decide whether I should or shouldn't. Please feel free to let me know in the comments or in the comments of this recording your honest thoughts about this neckband, and I will then, with your help, make a decision over the course of the next week. So that's the progress of this sweater. I really hope to get it done by the end of this week so that we can have a test call next week. So, well, woman, it's different, which is good. Great. Yeah, it is definitely different. And I love the neckline. Thank you. Looks amazing. Leave it as it is. Okay, so either the people who are really brave are following now, and neck is so beautiful. Please give this neckline. Okay. Less work for me. Yeah. Or maybe I could give some options, but then I won't be able to test them, so will not know what that looks like. Options are always good. We'll see. Love the neckline. Thank you so much. I mean, it's nice, isn't it? It's very unique. I have never seen one like that, so maybe that's But then again, the sweater motif is so traditional and symmetrical that it's a little bit at odds with itself. But then you can't have it. If everything was straight and symmetrical, then where's the fun in that? So yeah, I'll sleep on it. Thank you so much for your feedback. Now I'm gonna try and remove the outer layer of this onion that I am, to show you the next thing that has had progress. Excuse me. Oh, that feels so good, actually, because it is so hot in my office. I think the wool remembers the warmth and then it gives it out during the day. So here is my Mohair version of the Datura cardigan with the trumpet sleeves and picot bind off edging on the body. And so again, progress. I've added the ties, so I'm able to tie it. The problem, after blocking, it became a little bit too big for me. So yeah, it's not 100% of how I wanted it to be initially, but it's very comfortable and very, yeah, it's still very nice. Maybe it's worth noting that if you're thinking of making this and you want it fitted like I had designed, knowing how yarn usually behaves, like natural fibers and etc. usually behaves after blocking, maybe it's worth going a size smaller. Yeah, that's a consideration. But other than that, I love, and here you can see the, maybe you can see, maybe you can't, the neck, what am I talking about? The shoulder detail, so that's the back, and then this is the sleeve where the cap has been shaped with short rows until you get to the underarm, and it's a trumpet shaping from there on. So sleeves were fun to do. The whole thing was fun to do. Whew, but it's so warm and so light. Yeah, awesome. Very summery, springy project. And now that's not all. So this is a cardigan that is gonna come out in early June. Stay tuned for that. It's all almost done and dusted. I have seen many tester versions already, which are looking amazing. So yeah, look forward to this release. And as I've made 2 cardigans, you will be able to see a merino, fingering weight merino version and a mohair version next to each other and choose from that. Right, third project that I started last week and already shared with you a little bit is also a project that is okay, so Medusa Knits is asking, can I ask what is your estimated yarn usage for your new color work in Yama yarn? So I am not able to share that yet because I have not completed the sweater myself, and I usually complete it and then weigh the yarn and then calculate it for all the sizes. But yeah, please, actually the best way would be to email me at Zanete@zaneteknits with this question, and I will get back to you then as soon as I know, because I'm also making 2 options. I'm making an option with color work on the body and the plain body. So it's going to be a very interesting way of calculating the yardage for the sweater that I didn't knit, which is the plain body one. And I will count on my amazing test knitters to tell me whether I'm right or wrong. Thank you. So returning to the third project, which is a sock, and the sock of, I don't know, I was thinking. So the original thought was that I'm going to make a toe-up sock in 5 colors from yarn that my friends and I picked up at Unravel Festival, and to make Unravel Memory Socks that has color work in it. So being myself, I had to mess with traditions and introduce a twist into it. So I thought that it would be a great idea to knit the toe and then the color work, where the color work is sometimes worked inside out, because I love the look of floats on the right side. So I decided that some of the rows I'll work from the wrong side, meaning I turn the sock inside out and work the project in the opposite direction. So you work some rows from the wrong side and some rows from the right side, and in the end you get a very, again, unique looking sock. I really like, I don't know if you can see how it's turning out. Maybe the floats could be more varied, I don't know. But then as I have started the gusset increases, because this will be a sole gusset that goes wider and wider until it reaches the required circumference for the heel and to pass through. I have realized that I have made myself so much extra work. It's almost like writing 2 patterns for a single sock pattern, because the instructions for working the gusset and heel flap are different when you work from the right side than from the wrong side, and because for each of the different foot lengths the gusset start could be at any place in the color work. Yeah, I have given myself so much extra work that I don't even know if I can psych myself up to do. So I'm really having serious doubts about whether it's worth it. Like it's fun to have these little chains here, and it was fun to work it when it was just straight without any shaping or increases. But now that I have to think about the gusset, it's becoming super complicated, and I honestly am not enjoying it anymore, which is the first sign that that project needs to be rethought. So yeah, that's it. I've only basically talked about problems, haven't I? Well, the sock was about this much last week, and in the week I've managed to add an inch. That goes to show how too much of a complex thing it is. And yeah, I think I'm gonna rethink and redo it to be a little bit more accessible for my own mind. With that said, there's only one thing left that I need to update on, and that is that next week is the release of the Amor de Verano t-shirt, and it will be a release on a Friday as opposed to my usual Wednesday, because it's at the same time as a knitting festival in Spain, for which this pattern is Justina and I, who I'm collaborating with for Felice Punto Yarns, she will be there exhibiting, and yeah, the t-shirt's already in Spain, and it will be there along with her beautiful yarns in that festival. So yeah, if you haven't already subscribed to my newsletter, the link is in the profile, and all the subscribers will be first to know when the pattern comes out, and they will also be the first to know when the test call for Song of the Moon sweater is out. So thank you very much for joining me on this short update, and I will see you next week.